Good afternoon. How you doing? My name is Jerry Elston, and I will be your counselor for this session. What brings you into the practice today?
My probation officer referred me to you guys
Okay, excellent, excellent. And was there any particular reason for the referral? Um,
because I got pulled over for DUI
okay, all right. And about how long ago?
3 weeks.
3 weeks? Okay, well, we're going to work through that. Are you okay? Was there any type of accident or anything?
No, just me.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, my name's Jerry, and we will work through that. Today, it looks like we'll be doing your initial assessment. This assessment will be an assessment to take a look at your substance use. It'll go into family history. It'll go into a little bit of everything. Some of the questions are a little redundant. So, if there's a question that either you don't feel comfortable answering or you don't know the answer to the question, it's not the end of the world. Answer to the best of your ability, and we'll work it from there. So, we did give you a packet. Did they give that to you at the front desk? Excellent.
Yes.
And so I'm sure you probably didn't have a chance to completely read it. That's why we give you a copy of it, so you're able to take that with you, and you can look it over at your convenience. What I do though is there's a couple very, very important items that are on the first and second page. I'm actually going to read those almost verbatim. It will be the only time that you see me reading the whole entire time we have the session. Any other time that you see me look at the computer or type on the keyboard, I'm simply inputting the information so that I'm able to go back to it to review once we are completely through. A estimation of time, we're looking at anywhere from about 20 minutes to 45 minutes. At any point in time, if you need a break, if you need to use the bathroom or anything to that nature, just let me know and we'll take a break and then we'll resume after that. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No.
All right, excellent. So if you look on the first page, you will notice that you see a title that says Informed Consent, okay? And so before we actually get into that part of it, counseling, it's a process of resolving problems by talking with a person professionally trained to help people achieve a more fulfilling life. The process of change will be unique to you. It changes, everyone's change and their process is unique, and we foster that. This process begins by clearly defining the problem and mutually deciding on goals for therapy. So you're going to decide on some goals once we get to that part. You may be asked to supply personal information about yourself and your family that may include, but that's not limited to, information about the family you grew up with, past events in your life, ways in which you communicate, your substance use history, as well as several other factors that would play a part and kind of help me to see a full picture of your use and your history. Now, any questions on that part? Fantastic. Confidentiality, all right? Confidentiality, all sessions are kept strictly confidential, okay? So what that means to you is I cannot share any information that you give to me, including that you've been here for counseling, without your written permission. And so the second page has what's called a release of information form, and that form would be the form that you would sign. So for instance, I noticed that you signed a release for your probation officer, and I also noticed you signed a release for an emergency contact, and it looks like the emergency contact was Emma Jones. And what relationship is Miss Jones to you?
Aunt.
On. Okay, excellent, excellent. So, that's exactly the same thing as what you have. To put it into perspective, if down the road, you have a spiritual leader or a primary care physician or other physician or doctor that you want to have some information on your treatment, then or on this assessment, then you would simply fill that out like you did the ones before. They can help you at the front desk, or I can help you as well. Let's see what we have from there. So to recap, we know about the release of information. Now, there are some other reasons, so for confidentiality, where they can be broken. Immediate danger to you or someone else, okay? So if you pose an immediate danger to yourself or to someone else, at that point in time, it can be reported. At this current time, are you having any type of homicidal or suicidal ideations or thoughts?
No.
Okay, so you don't want to harm yourself. You don't want to harm me or anyone else. Okay, excellent, excellent. So another is any type of abuse to a elderly person, a disabled person, or to a child. Reporting of unethical or illegal conduct by another mental health or medical professional. If any of these situations arise, we must give out enough information to try to keep people safe. If records are requested by you or by anyone else, including a court, a summary letter will be provided. And so simply what that means to you is that I'm not going to take my computer and go to court and just sit it right there, for the prosecutor or the judge to go through. That process is extensive. However, I would create a summary of what we've talked about, your thoughts, your point of view, as well as what I find would be submitted as well. Okay. Last thing I'm going to go over that's in that actual packet before we get started, and feel free once you have a chance to look it over and read through it. If there is anything that you need clarified, if there's anything that you want to discuss, I'm going to give you my work cell, phone number and extension here in the office, as well as my email address. And you can feel free at any point in time to give me a call or send me an email. Any questions so far? All right, fantastic. We're doing very well. All right, client responsibility and rights. It's very important to me that you know what would be expected out of you and also what you should expect from me, okay? You're expected to arrive on time for each appointment. You have the right to participate in therapy as well as terminate therapy at any time without any penalty, okay? If you don't like the session, you don't like me, you don't like the office, or it doesn't work for time or anything else, you do have the key to turn into the lock that shuts down everything at that point in time. Okay. You are expected to be free of substance abuse during therapy. If your issue requires an expertise, I do not have. I will assist you in connecting to an appropriate resource. All right. One of the things is I always operate within my scope of business. All right. If you need a mental health evaluation, then I would help you to locate a suitable mental health therapist or psychiatrist that meets your needs and expectations. I solely operate under addictions counseling, and so with that, if it's out of my realm and it is a mental health disorder that does not correlate with a substance use disorder, then I would simply go from there. All right. So there may be times that I may confidentially consult with other health professionals regarding case management. This obviously is to assure quality care, and then we maintain your identity. And so how that looks is if we have like a clinical staffing meeting with just clinicians and a clinical manager, just to make sure that I'm giving you the best possible options and care and referrals that are out there. All right, so that is all of the straight down reading. Now we're going to start taking a look at some of the reasons why you came in today. So I know that you said before that you have received your first DUI. Now, before that, have you driven under the influence a lot of times, a couple times? Yeah, is it something that you do a lot, or is it just an isolated type of thing?
I just do it when I get mad.
Okay, okay. And is it mad about anything? Is it mad about a particular thing?
Mad about my day at work, life in general. Like I have a bad day and all I want to do is drink and go to the bar, get some drinks, get drunk, get in the vehicle and go home.
Okay, absolutely. And I can definitely see where that can cause for you to, want to use alcohol or other substances as an outlet to that. And we're definitely going to discuss it and get into it. It's definitely a valid point. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at, we know the reason why you're seeking treatment. We're going to start off with some developmental history. For instance, where were you born?
In the United States.
Okay, excellent, excellent. I was born in Canada, so that's actually kind of cool. What city were you born in?
Salisbury.
Okay, Salisbury, Maryland. All right, very good, very good. And do you remember as a child anyone mentioning any thing about any type of complications with your birth?
No.
Okay. Do you remember, to your knowledge, anyone like mentioning if your mother either smoked tobacco or drank alcohol while she was pregnant with you?
No.
Okay, very good, very good. And to your last one is, do you remember as a child any delays? So that would be like with crawling or walking or toilet training?
Walking.
Okay. And what type of delay?
I didn't walk until I was 3.
Okay. All right. All right. You did walk until you were 3. And then was it ever diagnosed as a reason, or it was just kind of, you wanted to save, your energy and things like that until you got a little older?
Because I always had a problem with one leg shorter than the other.
Okay.
It was way shorter, so I would walk, but then I would fall, walk and fall. So the doctor didn't realize that until after the fact. I got a little bit older, so it took them time to figure it out. So I didn't actually start walking probably until like maybe 2 going on 3, I should say.
Okay. All right. And how do you walk now?
I'm a fast walker.
Okay. I noticed that you had a Fitbit on, so I'm sure you're counting your steps. So I can tell you definitely, do some sort of walking or running, which is fantastic. Now I also see, do you need an interpreter? So do you need anyone to interpret anything I say or that you say?
No, I speak English.
Okay, excellent. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. And we are going to move right along with it. What I'm going to do now is I am going to pull up the rest of the assessment. We will do one screening, which is the Michigan 5 alcohol screening test. And we typically, when a individual comes in for anything that is alcohol related, we typically do this assessment to kind of get a good picture of, how they use that particular substance. So in this case, it would be alcohol. So let me just see. I'm just going to pull, and we'll have that in here as well. And are you still located on 116 South Camden in Fruitland, Maryland?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I go over to Fruitland a lot. My kids have baseball during the summertime over at a park over there, so that's beautiful. All right, so how would you describe your childhood?
I had a good childhood. I was raised by my mother and my father in my life. Um, they was very supportive of me. Um, Actually, I was the last one born because I had one brother and one sister. Both of my parents worked all the time, so they both worked at least a 40-hour-a-week job. Um, they were good providers. Like, I didn't want for anything that I needed in life, I was always given as far as a child.
Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Describe any cultural or religious influences in your family.
My family is basically Methodist. We go to church typically every Sunday service. My father used to be Methodist, but now he decided to change the religion, so he goes to another church. So it's like separate from the family.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it. I'll go to church with him sometimes, but it's not really my style, but I'll go.
Okay.
Just because it's my father.
Okay. Beautiful. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Have you ever experienced any or witnessed any type of physical, sexual, or emotional abuse or neglect?
No.
Okay. And any traumatic events in your life?
Just relationships.
Okay. And do you care to expound on it, or is that something that you would like to bring up at a later point?
We could talk about a later point.
Okay, not a problem. Just know I am here for you. And, you know, at any point, we can always sit down and talk about that and take a look at that as well. Are you currently seeing any type of outside therapist or psychiatrist?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen one in the past?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you think about it? How was the experience?
It was good. We did Bible study.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. Okay, beautiful. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over the family members that you have. So just to give you an overview, it consists of mother, father, siblings, step-parents if you have them, aunts, uncles, as well as children and spouse or partner. And what we're looking for is to see if there is a history of mental illness, or if they have or had a problem with alcohol or drugs. So let's start off with mom. Did mom have a history of mental illness or suffer from any type of addiction of alcohol or drugs?
No.
Okay, beautiful. What about dad?
Dad was an alcoholic.
Okay. What about siblings? You know, you said that you have a brother and a sister. Did they ever have any type of dealings with substance use disorder or any type of mental health conditions?
No drug disorder. Sister was depression, and brother was bipolar.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And how about, obviously you didn't have any step parents. We talked about that. What about aunts or uncles?
Uncle and father's side was an alcoholic.
Okay. And do you have any children?
Yes.
All right. How many?
5.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm assuming that they're all under the age to be able to drink. Do any of them suffer from any type of mental illness or anything to that nature?
No.
Okay, excellent. And spouse or partner, are you currently married or have a boyfriend or girlfriend that you spend time with or live with?
A boyfriend.
Okay. And does he have any type of issues with mental illness or with substance use?
depression, bipolar, ADHD, alcohol, heroin, marijuana, cocaine.
Okay. And does he use these items in the house with you and the kids? Does he
Um, he'll use in the house, in the bedroom, or he'll go out and do it.
Okay. All right. And now that, and correct me if I'm wrong, it paints the picture from when you said before a lot of times that you would get in the vehicle after drinking, would be after, a disagreement with him or being mad at him. And that makes, a lot of sense. And we will definitely talk about that further. Today we're going to focus on you and making sure that we get you set up so that we can get you some assistance. And then we'll work on that indirectly as we move forward. How would you describe your relationship with your mother?
We had a great relationship. We got along good. She was the most positive influence person in my life.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And I noticed you used we had. Is mom still living?
She's deceased.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely sorry to hear that, and I'm sorry for your loss. It sounds like she was a great woman, and from the things that I've heard from you and that I've seen on the paperwork as far as your work ethic and what you mentioned earlier, she definitely did a great job. What about Dad? How would you describe your relationship?
We're close. We're closer now since my mother passed, because that's my only living parent that I have. So he's very supportive, and he's in my life and my children's life as well.
Okay. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Very good. Your siblings, good relationship?
We're good. For the most part, we get along to the best of our ability. We may not agree a lot, but we do what we think is best to be able to be in each other's life.
Okay, excellent. And we talked about the significant other, and we talked about the children as well. Excellent. So what we're going to go into is we're going to talk a little bit about education, and vocation, and or financial history. We're not, believe me, I don't want to see your tax returns or how much you make. That's not that type of thing. But I just want to kind of get an overview to see if it plays a part in what we are discussing. So what was school like for you growing up, to the best of your ability and what you can remember?
School was interesting. Elementary was cool. I mean, I got picked on when I was like in middle school, so I got bullied a lot. When I got to high school, it was better because I had more friends, but I never got over being bullied in school, because no matter what, I tried to make friends, but at the same time, I was being talked about, teased, and it didn't feel good.
I'm sure I was bullied. I was always the fat boy. So, I could play sports and do all this other stuff, but if you look at me from the outside, you just see, this fat kid. And so, I was bullied through middle school and not as much so in high school. And so I definitely, know the severity and how detrimental it can be. But based on what I see here, it looks like you completed high school, completed undergrad, and either have completed or are currently in grad school. Is that correct, or am I missing?
That's correct.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So you're able to still remain steadfast, which is important. There are so many kids out here that they can't get past some of the trauma that we have dealt with through school, and it just turns them off from school and creates a hard road ahead. Are you currently working?
Yes.
Okay. And where do you currently work?
The hospital.
Okay.
Title Health.
Title Health. Okay, excellent. I go there all the time. Beautiful, very good. And what has been your major field of employment? So, like, what has been your profession?
Working with people in the emergency room, those that come in who are suicidal.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. So you do a lot of the same things and deal with a lot of the same scenarios as what I deal with on a daily basis. So which makes it so you understand some of the things that we're talking about. So we're gonna go down and talk a little bit about the probation, parole, and arrest history. So and correct me if I'm wrong. This DUI that you have received was the first one that you've gotten. And what about court? Have you been to court or not yet?
No, I don't have a court date yet.
Okay, excellent. So you're really just kind of being proactive and just getting in front of it. That's awesome. And that's the best way to be. We all make mistakes. That's the reality of life. It's more about what we do after, and I see that you're taking the strides and steps. Have you ever been arrested for anything else prior to that?
No.
Okay. Are you on the sex registry for the state of Maryland or any other state? Okay, I figured that. And who do you currently live with?
I live alone with me and my children.
Okay. All right. Anybody in the house it's you and your children, so I already know the answer to that. But the question would just be if you currently live with someone that has a drug or alcohol problem.
No, because my boyfriend doesn't stay there. He stays somewhere else.
Okay. Excellent. What do you do in your spare time? So, give me a hobby of yours, or something that you do just to relax, self-care, something with the kids, or.
I love going to sleep.
Okay.
I just love, I love cooking. I love shopping, watching movies.
What's your favorite store?
I really don't have one because I do a lot of online shopping. I like Ross.
Okay.
Kohl's.
Okay. Excellent. Who are you currently turning to for support?
My best friends.
Okay.
I have two that I can rely on.
Very supportive.
Supported of me.
Okay. Beautiful. Are you currently pregnant?
No.
Okay. And are you receiving food stamps?
No, I wish, but I don't. I can't get them.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's like it's the window, because I have 3 sons, and although according to America I make money over the threshold, but the reality of it is, as a single parent, when you take away the mortgage, you take away all the stuff for them, you take away all the other bills and expenses, it's really not as much money as what it may look like on paper. And so I totally understand that. Is there any other medical treatment or psychiatric treatment or anything else that you're receiving?
I have asthma.
Okay.
I'm on medication for it. Also, I've been to the hospital for suicide attempts, but that was in the past. It hasn't been recent.
Okay. In the past, are we talking over a year or under a year?
Over a year.
Over a year? Over 2 years or under 2 years?
Over 2 years.
Okay. All right. I will obviously check with you periodically. Just know you can always talk to me. And we will continue to, if you do continue to come and come in for individual sessions, one of the things I always do is I always start with a check-in. And in fact, I do a check-in with myself. So we kind of do it together because, I'm not, excluded from anything. I can have a bad day just like anyone else. So It's always good, to start the session with the check-in. Now, we are going to move to your substance use history, okay?
Okay.
So, have you tried or do you do any other substances other than alcohol?
Marijuana?
Marijuana. Do you currently have a marijuana card?
No.
No. And when was the first age that you used marijuana?
15.
Okay. And when was the last time you used marijuana?
October the 5th.
Okay. And when you use marijuana, about how much are you using? Daily, weekly, monthly?
Daily.
Okay. And do you know about how much you are smoking per day?
3 blunts.
3 blunts per day? Okay. All right. Alcohol. What was the first age that you tried alcohol?
When I was 16.
Okay. And when was the last time that you had an alcoholic beverage?
October the 5th.
Okay. And how much were you drinking before you had the DUI? Or up into the point of the time that you had the DUI?
I was drinking every day. I would basically drink wine, beer, usually like a 12-pack, and then like 2 bottles of wine.
Okay. And did the DUI either stop or cause you to feel like you should stop completely, or was it more of just not drinking and driving?
More of not drinking and driving, and then also thinking about the sake of my kids, because I need to be there for them.
Absolutely. And we'll get more in depth. Like I said, right now we're just kind of, I'm just getting to know you better. The things that you do good, the things that you might not do as well, your beliefs. So, what about cigarettes? Do you smoke any type of tobacco or vape or anything like that?
I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day.
Okay, a pack a day. All right. I'm going to put that in here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do what's called a Michigan alcohol screening test, just to kind of give you a kind of like an overview for the rest of the session. So we're going to do the Michigan alcohol screening test. I have maybe 1 or 2 closing questions that I'm going to ask you, and then we will actually be done for today. So I always like to give a little bit of a kind of a forecast of how it looks from here. Once I compile everything and review it, I will discuss the case at our clinical staffing meeting, which you came on the actual day of it. So in another couple hours, we will go over it. I will present your case to the entire team. They will talk with me about it as well, and then we'll come up with a treatment recommendation. From there, the treatment recommendation is simply that it's a recommendation. You have the right to refuse any service if there is even a service that is offered. You can pick and choose. That's up to you. You have an active role in the choice and choosing process, and you also have an active role in your recovery and therapy. So let's get into this. Michigan alcohol screening test is going to be a series of questions. They're all about alcohol. They're yes or no. So there's no, really, there's nothing really to explain. It's just really simple. So let's start off from here. The first one is, do you feel that you are a normal drinker? Now, normal is defined as drinking as much or less as most other people.
Yes.
Okay. And by yes, you mean that you feel that you drink as much or less, not more than other people.
As much.
Okay. Have you ever woke up the morning after drinking the night before and found that you could not remember a part of the evening?
Yes.
Okay. Does any near relative or close friend ever worry or complain about your drinking?
Yes.
Okay. Can you stop drinking without difficulty after 1 or 2 drinks?
No.
Do you ever feel guilty about your drinking?
Yes.
Have you ever attended a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous?
No.
Have you ever gotten into physical fights when drinking?
Yes.
Has drinking ever created problems between you and a near relative or close friend?
Yes.
Has any family member or close friend gone to anyone for help about your drinking?
Yes.
Have you ever lost a job because of drinking?
Yes.
Have you ever neglected your obligations, family, or work for 2 or more days in a row because you were drinking?
Yes.
Do you drink before noon fairly often or 12 o'clock?
No.
Have you ever been told you have liver trouble? So that would be like cirrhosis of the liver.
No.
After heavy drinking, have you ever had delirium tremors or DTs, severe shaking or visual or auditory hearing hallucinations?
No.
Have you ever gone to anyone for help with your drinking?
No.
Have you ever been hospitalized because of drinking?
Yes.
Have you ever gone to any doctor, social worker, clergyman, or mental health clinic for help with an emotional problem in which drinking was part of the problem?
Yes.
Have you ever been arrested more than once for driving under the influence?
No.
Have you ever been arrested or detained by an official for a few hours because of other behavior while drinking?
Yes.
Excellent. Very good. And we already know this. All right. This is probably my favorite part of the assessment. I'm going to ask you a couple questions and you can give me your view. So, first one is, give me 2 of your strengths.
I'm a people person. I'm outgoing.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Give me one thing that you need. It can be anything in the world.
A better life.
Okay. And last but not least, give me 2 of your abilities. So this can be something that you do for a hobby or a pastime, something that you're good at doing.
Coloring.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Do you have, go ahead.
And cooking.
And cooking, okay, excellent. What's your favorite dish to cook?
Steak.
Ooh, okay, excellent. Very good, very good. Any preferences? So what that really means is if the clinical team decides that you need treatment, do you prefer like mornings or evenings, or do you have no preference?
Evenings.
Okay. Do you prefer, do you have a preference on counselors?
No.
Okay, excellent. And do you have any barriers to treatment? So simply what that is there anything that would prevent you from being able to complete treatment or, be attentive, in any type of way?
No.
Okay. And is there any type of accommodations that you would need for when you come in, or any type of information that we would send out? Do you have like a specific learning style that you like?
No.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Well, just know I am here. I am very, very good and very, very fluent in assistive technology and being able to provide alternate formats in pretty much anything that I do. Every PowerPoint that I have is available in all types of formats. Any document that I have is available in all types of formats. So just know that if that is something that you find you need in the future, if you just let me know, I'll get on that right away. So that right there concludes the assessment part of our session today. What I want to do is get a quick recap, and then I'll answer any questions that you have. So basically, again, I will present this to the clinical team based on the information that we've talked about today. I would probably recommend outpatient treatment, which would, how that looks to you is you would have 2 group therapy sessions per week, which could be either on Zoom or you could come into the actual facility and, sit, within a group room with the other individuals that would be doing group, with you. And you would have random urinalysis, which if there is a person, at the court that you would need information or a letter for that, I would provide them, an update on your progress throughout. Being as though you have not gone to court yet, my recommendation as well would be to continue, because I'm sure you're going to go to court definitely within the next month or 2. So it always looks good, to be actively in treatment when you go to court. Plus, it also will help you to work through some other things that it seems like that, from what I can hear, that you're willing and ready to work on. And then the last thing is that I'm going to do a referral for a mental health assessment, which is completely up to you. You can deny it, not do it, refuse it, or you can choose a mental health facility, professional of your choosing. And the idea behind that is I want to make sure that, now that you've had the alcohol out of your system for long enough, I just want to make sure that there's nothing that I'm missing or something that's outside of my scope of service that, that is missing so that you get the best quality care. Is there I know that I talked about a ton of different things. I do not expect you to be able to digest all this within, 20, 30 minutes. But right now, where we stand, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. What do you think about treatment? How do you feel? Do you think you need it? Don't need it?
I know I need it. It's just getting used to something that is going to need to be done.
Okay. Well, that's it right there. That is the hardest part. And once you make that step and you say, you know what, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna do what I need to do. It seems like you have 5 beautiful kids that look up to you and that want mom in their life for years to come. So I'm excited. I will give you all of my information. What I'll do is I will set up a phone call for tomorrow. What is the best time to give you a call?
Anytime after 3.
I have 3:15, 3:30, and 3:45. So what do you? Does it matter as far as work or just?
3:30 would be perfect.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I will give you a call right at 3:30, maybe 3:35 at the absolute latest.
Mm-hmm.
When I give you a call, I'll give you a little bit more information, and then we will get you to come back in so we can sit down and set up your treatment plan, which would be the next steps from here. I've already put a letter together for you to take to court saying that you came for the assessment, and we'll notify them later of the route that you choose to go once we present that to you. Cool?
Yes.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
And I'm so glad you came in, and I will see you or talk to you tomorrow and hopefully see you soon.
All right.
All right.
You.
Thanks again.
You're welcome.